Have you ever thought about just how long this year has felt? Is that just me? Am I crazy? Am I just like the only one who thinks it was a long year? Maybe it was, maybe it wasn't. Hello everybody, this is That Manga Dude, and welcome to the 3rd annual Manga Dude Manga Awards for 2024. Woo! Everybody give a good round of applause. You can hear it. Yes, thank you, thank you. Yeah, this is going to be a fantastic award season. We've had... This was probably one of the most difficult years in terms of selecting the winners of some of these awards because there are so many it was so close, so close. But honestly, it was a lot of fun to pick these out. I have a lot of great awards to give out, and yeah, maybe I should get changed. I'm not looking too special. So give me 1 second. I will see you when we get right into that, right into the awards ceremony. All right, let's go. Alright, as I am the host of the Manga Dude Manga Awards, I need to specify the rules for this award ceremony. So, first, there is going to be 1 award per series, aka 1 series per award. There are exceptions for this rule when it comes to covering the best art, story, and manga of the year. So those 3 are up for grabs for any of the manga that I'm going to be discussing, but for every other award, there should be only 1 per series across the board. So I wanted to keep it fun and, you know, try to display as many of the amazing series I did release this year. I just think it's more fun that way, because honestly, if you did it as any volume can win or any series can win, it would be sweeps across the board, and that's just not that interesting to watch. What can I say? Going into the second part, we need to have had these series need to have that first volume physically printed or released in 2024. So the cutoff for this is going to be November 2024, so nothing that releases in December 2024 will be a part of this. That will be added to next year's round of selections. So for the 2025 Manga Dude Manga Awards, those will be available. But there's still tons of manga that came out this year, so there's a lot to select from. And last but not least, it is my opinion. So don't forget that it is my opinion. It does not mean this is the genuine best whatever manga that came out this year. These are all what I think are the best of the best. So keep that in mind. I'd love to see what you would consider to be the best of the best down below as we go through the awards ceremony. So let's get ready with our main section. This is going to be the demographic section. So, our best shonen series. There is a lot of shonen that came out this year, and a lot I could have selected, to be completely honest, but my personal favorite and what I consider to be the best shonen of 2024 is going to be Marriage Toxin. This is from Joe Miyaku and Mizuki Yoda. Really fun series following the story about this assassin here on the front, who is the leader of like the poison clan. I don't know what you want to call him. He is the leader / the head of the clan. Unfortunately, he is really bad at basically anything that doesn't have to do with assassinations, and he needs to have a child in order to have a successor for eventually when he decides to retire or pass away. If he doesn't, then his sister is going to be the one selected to bear a child in order to create a successor. So he is now trying to continue his work as the main assassin while also trying to find love. It is very silly, it's very ridiculous, the action is awesome, the art is great, and I think just overall this was a really good shonen series and well worth and well deserving of the best shonen series. Okay, going into the best shoujo series. This was another difficult one. There are actually a lot of really fantastic shoujo series, and yes, I know this is a kind of an interesting pick because yes, it is an older series, but it's the first time we've ever gotten in English, and that was going to be Last Quarter from Aizawa. There's currently only 1 volume out, but this first volume was remarkable. Beautiful art, beautiful story, as usual, as you would expect from Aizawa. Love the characters across the board, but in case you didn't know, it follows a story about this woman here, who is kind of like a high school like delinquent / dropout, who ends up meeting this man who's playing guitar, and they end up falling in love with one another, or at least somewhat falling in love with one another. And as it comes to an end, the guy's like, meet me where we first met and we can go to wherever they're going to. But on the way there, she is hit into an unfortunate accident from what we can tell, and she wakes up in this bright light area where there's nothing but a gate, where she meets this young girl, and suddenly the story switches perspectives, and now we are following this young girl, and it's just very interesting. I love the mystery. I love how everything is built out. I love how the story is already progressing within this first 1.5 volumes. I believe this is supposed to be 3 volumes total in Japan, or 4 volumes or whatever, but this is going to be a 2-volume series here in English. But absolutely remarkable release. I loved it so much, and well deserving once again of the Best Shoujo Award. Alright, coming into seinen, this is probably the hardest one out of all of them, really, because there are so many good seinen that came out. Like, genuinely, I had a really hard time selecting what I consider to be the best seinen. But to be completely fair, this one is so well deserving of it, and that is going to be Hirayasumi from Keigo Shinzo. This is an absolutely wonderful series following the story about these two here. This man here is an older guy. He's around my age, funny enough, who inherits a house from this old lady because they become friends, and she ends up passing away, and he ends up inheriting her house. Later down the line, this girl here, who is his cousin, is going to move in with him because now she's going to start going to school and figuring everything out, going to art college. So it's a really great series, very awesome slice of life series. We get to watch these characters grow and kind of live among them, alongside them. It's really great. The plot is always pushing forward, even though it is a slice of life series. I love their character trajectories. We're getting a lot of just really raw and tender moments between them and with themselves. I really love this series. The character moments are beautiful. The art is absolutely gorgeous, and I just love it. Love it a lot. It's a fantastic series, so definitely go check this one out. Best Seinen Award goes to Hirayasumi. And the last but not least, we have ourselves the best josei. So this was actually pretty difficult because I actually didn't read that much josei because not to be completely honest, not a lot of josei actually came out in English this year, which is really sad, and it's kind of really annoying because there's a lot of great josei manga that we've never gotten in English, and we really should. But this one for sure was going to be my choice, and that is going to be King in Limbo from Ai Tanaka, which just recently finished up with 3 volumes. Yeah, this is an absolutely remarkable piece of fiction. I love it so much. It follows a story about these two here who are now this kind of like detective duo in a way, who are trying to figure out why the specific disease which he helped to find a cure for way back when is now back and running rampant. So it's very interesting. The plot twists are intense and just all over the place and will keep you on your toes. I love the character designs. No one seems safe in this story, which is kind of interesting, and yeah, just really like the character dynamics. I really love the art. The art's absolutely gorgeous, and yeah, I'm really excited to see people talk more about the series because I think it's well worth a read. Best josei goes to King in Limbo. Okay, going into some of the other random things, we have ourselves the best couple. So best couple is going to go, in my opinion, to Yuri Hasegawa and Keiichiro Katsuragi from Let's Do It Already. This this couple is so funny and so cute because they are basically polar opposites. She's very much more of an extrovert, like really hands-on, really wants to share and love with her significant other, and he's more reserved and definitely like to the rules, to the T, sticking to everything. So I really love their dynamic, and I'm really loving seeing how their characters are starting to be more flexible, especially with one another, which you always love to see in a relationship. So overall, they are my favorite, especially because they get their relationship started in the first chapter, which doesn't always happen in a romance series. So love to see it. This great couple. Okay, going into best action sequences, that is going to go to Search and Destroy from Atsushi Kaneko. This one has such cool art, such awesome action. I think it's just really flippin' cool. Definitely get a lot of love because of the beautiful lettering and stuff like that we get to see from Phil Christie, from Phil Christie. The action is always intense, it's fun, it's well paneled. I love it a lot, and I think it really just comes down to just how wonderful Atsushi Kaneko's art style really lends to this like really fun action. So if you haven't picked this up, you really should. It's a great action series. Alright, up next, the best horror series is going to go to UFO Mushroom Invasion from Shirakawa Marina. Love this one a lot. It's very much an old school horror series. Very, very creepy. Really keeps you on your toes in a kind of like a ooh. I guess gotta walk around all of the problems here, but it's just really, really good. I love the art style. It's very old school. I love the writing, and I really love that they have this little section at the end where they talk about the creator and all about their work and like how they got influence and stuff like that. So just a really awesome release in general, not just for the manga but also just for the extra little stuff at the end. So overall, this was amazing and definitely worth a pickup. Alright, up next, Best Mystery Series. This one was pretty hard because there was another one that I was thinking about putting, but I kind of had to because it's just right up my alley. That is My Dear Detective Mitsuko's Case Files from Natsumi Ito. I love it a lot. This was exactly what I expected it to be, with beautiful art, great story, great characters. The mysteries are always a lot of fun, even if they are chapter to chapter. And honestly, I did not predict some of the story beats and some of the mystery beats, which is always really good. I think that's a good sign of a strong mystery, is always keeping it just there if you can figure it out, and if you can't, then they're going to answer it for you in a nice and fulfilling way. So overall, this is a very, very fantastic mystery series, and it just has some really great costume design. I love that a lot because it takes place back in the day. So yeah, definitely give it a shot if you are a big fan of mystery series. Best mystery, My Dear Detective Mitsuko's Case Files. Alright, up next, the best comedy series is going to go to Ninja Sarutobi Sasuke from Sugiura Shigeru. If you want just something that's completely bonkers, completely off the wall, you really never know what's truly going on, but it's got this absolutely charming and ridiculous art style. Sometimes it gets super realistic, as you can see, and other times it just looks very simple like this. But it's so funny, it's hilarious, so many great little moments. Just a fantastic read from start to finish, and it's always really cool to see these historical older series come to English print, because yeah, it's something that you would not necessarily have expected back in 2009, 2008. So it's really, really cool to see these old school manga coming out and coming into English. So best comedy series for the year, Ninja Sarutobi Sasuke. Alright, up next, the best sci-fi is going to go to Captain Momo's Secret Base from Kenji Tsuruta. I can't show anything in this, I forgot because there's a lot of nudity, so if you are below the age of 17, yeah, I would say get your parental supervision on this one, but this one's pretty fun, it's pretty silly. Follows a story about her, she's in this ship, it's kind of like a transportation ship or transport ship full of cargo, and it's about her daily musings of just kind of being in the ship alone with her cat and kind of just trying to survive and live. It's ridiculous, it's existential, it's fun when it needs to be, and it has absolutely gorgeous art because Kenji Tsuruta is just a fantastic artist. So if you're looking for something a little bit more out there, a little bit more weird, and definitely in a sci-fi setting, Captain Momo's Secret Base is my choice for best sci-fi. Alright, up next, we have ourselves the best one-shot. That is going to be Astrobiologist Pratis from Tsunami. This is an absolutely remarkable release. I loved it so much. Basically, it follows a story about these three kids here who are starting to have these reoccurring dreams about this character/person named Pratis, who is allegedly an alter ego or an alternative version of one of the characters. I won't say who. But it's kind of weird, it's strange, but it's a really fantastic coming of age story. Each of them are going through their own kind of just problems, and they kind of solve and figure out their way towards the end of this volume, and I just love to see it. Really enjoyed it. I thought it was great, even if it can be a little convoluting sometimes. I think the art style and I think just the character growth and the character stories are just carrying it through. So yes, best one shot, Astrobiologist Practice. Alright, up next, best short story collection is going to go to Nude Model and Other Stories from Tsubasa Yamaguchi. This is a short story collection from the manga artist or mangaka from Blue Period. It is very much a little bit more deviant in nature, so just keep that in mind before you pick it up. It's very adult themed. I liked it quite a bit. I liked a lot of the stories that are told throughout this. Art style, fantastic as usual, and it's kind of interesting to see more of an adult / darker side from Tsubasa Yamaguchi. So absolutely loved it. There are a lot of really great short story collections. So this is just my favorite of the year. Alright, up next we have the best cover and spine for a series, and that is going to go to In the Name of the Mermaid Princess from Yoshino Fumikawa and Miya Tashiro. I only have one of the volumes here, but all of them look absolutely gorgeous. I think they look so beautiful. I love the little touches just across the board. The character art is beautiful. I love like the, I don't know what you want to call it, like the astrology symbol, or kind of like the little symbol in the background looks beautiful. I love the fish. I love the bubbles. It's just an absolutely gorgeous release across the board, and most of them look like this in varying forms. So it's just well worth the choice. All the colors are beautiful too, because this is a blue cover. The next one's red, then it goes green, and then it goes yellow. So that's also really flippin' cool. So overall, yeah, In the Name of the Mermaid Princess, best manga art covers for a series. And best cover and spine for a single volume, that is going to go to Thunder 3 Volume 1. This is right up my alley. It is so cool. It's very graphic. I love this, how Thunder 3 looks. It looks super cool. I love that it looks like a movie cover / comic cover. It's kind of like both. It's great. It's so ridiculous, and I just love the colors. I think it pops really well. So yeah, overall, the fantastic first volume cover, and just cover in general. So yeah, that's going to be my best cover for a single volume. And I forgot, I did this a little bit out of order, but this goes to the best cast. And that's going to go to Gachi Akuta from Kei Urana. I love all of the characters in the series, including the bad guys. They just have really cool designs. I really like how they play off of one another. I think their dynamics are very interesting and very fun. Just an overall, just a really great cast. I think there's a lot of great characters in it, and I'm really excited to continue reading it because of this super diverse and interesting cast. I think we get a lot more characters within Volume 3, so really exciting, and can't wait to keep reading it. And yeah, best cast goes to Gachi Akuta. Alright, so continuing on with more of these traditional, I would say traditional awards, the most unique art style is going to go to the Concierge at Hokyoku Department Store from Tsuchika Nishimura. I love the art style. It's kind of got like an interesting, how would I explain it? Kind of like a children's book illustrations, but just detailed in a certain way, and it just looks really, really great. Some very, very awesome and beautiful art, and I love the line art specifically. It's kind of like sketchier style that you get to see, especially within the backgrounds and with the shading. Yeah, I love it a hell of a lot. I think it looks beautiful, and yeah, definitely deserving of the best unique art style. Alright, up next is the best outfit design and the runner-up to the best shoujo. That is going to be Colette Decides to Die from Alto Yukimura. Has some absolutely beautiful outfits. I love them so much, especially for Colette. I love her outfits the most. She's got like some really great outfits, even though a lot of them look similar, but I love them a lot. Also, Hades has some really great ones as well. Just all of the characters really just have really, really, really detailed and beautiful outfits. So if you're looking for some great outfit design, maybe get some references, Colette Decides to Die. Wow, Colette Decides to Die is a great choice. Alright, up next, we have ourselves the most important read. This one usually goes to a read that I think is important for people to read in order to kind of like expand their minds a bit. Maybe like get your brain thinking a bit. And that one this year is a little bit different than most years. I typically tend to have a very specific type of series, but not a lot of those came out, and not a lot of them that I could think of off the top of my head. But I think Tokyo These Days from Taiyo Matsumoto is a must read, and definitely a very important read. And I only say that because I think what makes it so important, at least for me personally, and I think for a lot of people, but it really just kind of builds on these ideas and on these themes of like kind of like restarting your life, even though you've built up a huge career, you're very popular, you're very famous, but kind of restarting your career and trying to find your passions and seeing like how it has a ripple effect on the people around you and those kinds of things, and like trying to push yourself in order to become what you want to be. So I think Tokyo These Days does a really great job at doing that. I think the themes are well constructed and well thought out, and I felt very touched by this. I think it was just there's a lot to glean from the pages of Taiyo Matsumoto's works, and I think this one is just done really, really well, and it's only 3 volumes, so I think it's a nice, fairly simple read. I know the art style is not for everybody, but I just kind of love how he ends up talking to all these different mangaka that he used to talk to, and how they feel about manga these days. But overall, fantastic read. I think you should give this one a read. Alright, up next, this is the best use of the medium. So I usually give this to series that kind of push the medium in a way that you don't typically see in manga, typical black and white manga. And yes, I gave it away by saying black and white. The guy she was interested in wasn't a guy at all from Sumiko Arai with the beautiful green. I think the green helps it pop so much. It makes it such a unique read. But man, it's also just a fantastic read in general. I love these two so much. I love their dynamic. I love their friendship. And hopefully sometime relationship, question mark, we'll see. And I just love that how like they talk about music and how it's just, I don't know, it's really, really well done. And I just love the green touches. Yen Press really killed it with this release. So best use to medium goes through the girl she was interested in wasn't a guy at all. Alright, biggest surprise is going to go to the series Sketchy from Maki Hirochi. I had no idea what I was getting into when I picked up this volume, other than, oh look, it's got skateboarding. That's cool. I love skateboarding. I think skateboarding's really cool. And what I didn't know is I was going to read a series that was going to completely change my trajectory, and like just find kind of like this like newfound and returned passion for skateboarding. This follows a story about a girl, not a girl, but a lady who is currently working as like a full-timer at a used video store. She's really kind of lost her passion in life. She doesn't really know what she's doing. She just feels like she's going through the motions, especially because her friends are very successful and kind of putting her down all the time. And one day she sees these skaters and kind of like becomes interested in it and thinks it's really, really cool. So now it's about her journey of learning skateboarding and meeting all these other female skaters when in a very male-dominated sport, but it's really, really cool. I think it's really well done. I love how all the characters are written and told, and completely blew me out of the water. I was not expecting Sketchy to be as cool as it was, but it was awesome, and I've been loving it so much. It's only 4 volumes right now, so definitely give it a shot if you're looking for something that's super cool and super unique. Sketchy. Best, and biggest surprise. Alright, up next is the most improved from volume to volume. This is the series that I may have enjoyed or may have liked at the beginning, but I've liked it a lot more as I've decided to read it. And that is going to go to Auto from Amano Jaku. So this is a series that I read right after I had just finished my my Akira full read of series, and it felt very similar in a lot of aspects, and it still is. However, I do think that as you continue to read, it starts to develop its own story, its own nucleus. It really is its own thing, and it's super cool. I mean, I love like the characters, and I love the art style. It's super dynamic and interesting, and I'm really loving like these unique powers that each of these characters are having. So I love it. I think it's really, really great, and it's become a lot better since volume 1. Alright, the best re-release. There were a lot of re-releases this year from various publishers, and yes, most people would think I was going to put Initial D, but I actually didn't, because I remember that Go-Go Monster from Taiyo Matsumoto got a re-release, and it is awesome. Go-Go Monster is super, super well done. It's a really great series. I got a release way back in the day from Viz, and no one really thought that they were going to re-release it, to be completely honest, and here they are. They did with a beautiful hardcover with a really nice like cardboard cover. The pages have like this really beautiful art style on the side. It's just really well done. I mean, it's fantastic, and I'm really happy they brought it back, because this is one of those series that I wish that I had, but I was not going to spend like $90 to $200 for a copy. So happy to finally have this, and very lovely re-release. And last but not least for this section, we have ourselves the best manhwa. Yes, this is the first time I've had this, because I've actually read a few manhwa, and that is going to go to Your Letter from Hyun A. Cho. Loved it so much. This is a fantastic manhwa. I just thought it was beautiful. I love the art. I love the colors. I think it's just really well done. And it's also my wife's like one of her favorites webtoons slash manhwas, so I had to read it, and I agree with her. It is remarkable. It's fantastic. I won't talk about it too much more because I already have a video on it, but definitely give this a shot if you're looking for just something that's this beautiful coming of age slice of life story with a really good mystery in it. So I loved it so much. Go give it a shot. All right, here comes some of the wackier, what I'd call the odd awards. So our first one is the most nostalgic read. I'm giving this award to a series that made me feel nostalgic in a way that not a lot of series do, and I think it was really special for that reason. And that is going to be Destroy All Humans, They Can't Be Regenerated, from Katsuda Issei and Takuma Yokota. This is basically a story following these two kids who are really into Magic the Gathering, which is not a series that I personally ever read or ever played, but I really enjoyed it. It made me feel nostalgic for back in the day when I used to play Yu-Gi-Oh with friends, and we'd just go out to go collect cards, go play games, go play Yu-Gi-Oh together, get really mad and get really silly about it. I think it does a really good job of giving that feeling back. It's really nostalgic, and I just loved it a lot. I think it's really cool for that reason. Alright, wackiest opening. This is the series that goes, I've been giving out this award basically every year, but this goes to a series that just has the most what the heck is going on opening to a series that I think I've seen, and it happens every year. Every year has its own, but this one is specifically for verses from one Kiyotaro Azuma and Bose, or Boss Bose, I don't know how to pronounce it, but yeah, this series is absolutely ridiculous. If you need to know the plot, basically it follows the story about this guy here who lives in a world where demons are taking over, and they're trying to find a way because it just seems like it's an unstoppable force, and it seems inevitable until the humanity is completely wiped out. So his brother, who is a mage, is kind of trying to figure out this ability in order to open up a kind of rift slash wormhole in order to bring people from another world in order to save them. However, what he doesn't know is that he actually brings the unstoppable forces in the other world to their world. So they kind of create this ridiculous mishmash of everything just going wrong at the same time. And so they've come to the conclusion that maybe they should just have the villains all fight themselves. It's ridiculous, it's stupid, it's crazy, but I absolutely loved it, and I cannot wait to continue reading it. Alright, up next, the most obnoxious character. This one goes out to, as you can tell, the most obnoxious character, and yes, it's going to go to Trillion Games' Haru Tanoji. Yes, he is one of the main characters. Yes, he is purposely made to be extremely obnoxious, but that's the kind of the charming thing about him. So, it's ridiculous, it's stupid, he annoys the crap out of me, his overconfidence and just cockiness in general really gets on my nerves, but I think they did it completely on purpose, because yeah, he's very funny, I'll give him that, but you will notice really quickly just how obnoxious and annoying he can be, because he definitely takes the cake across anything that I've read this year. Alright, the best one-liners. This goes to the series that had the best one-line jokes across the board. That's going to go to Too Many Losing Heroines. I think this completely blew me out of the water. There's so many random funny jokes. I was laughing throughout the entire first volume and into the second volume as well. I think it's just very stupid. There are a lot of hilarious moments where the main character is like, why am I even here? Like, I don't even need to be a part of this. Like, why is everybody dragging me into their problems? But I loved it so much. I thought it was hilarious. The one-liners are fantastic. So yeah, give this one a shot. Alright, next we have ourselves I Know What I'm Getting Into with the Cover Award. Going to the series where when you look at the cover, you know exactly what you're getting into. And that is going to go to The Fable from Katsuhisa Minami. As you can tell, this is going to be some kind of sort of action series, but it's going to be a little ridiculous and silly, because why is there a bird on his head if he's got a gun with a silencer? That doesn't make any sense. That's stupid and weird. And yes, that's exactly what this series is. It's stupid and it's weird and it's really funny. I just think it does a really great job of parodying the Kill Bill cover with the yellow and black, and the blood splatters, and I just love how it's kind of just a ridiculous take on that. So yeah, overall, it's great at explaining exactly what you're going to get into. Up next is the hashtag Struggle Tweets Award. That's going to go to Snowball Earth from Yuhiro Sugisugu. This is a series, and this is an award that goes to a character who's really just going through it. As you can say, hashtag Struggle Tweets. Our main character is gone through just a whole emotional moment at the beginning of the series, and then gets completely shocked and blown away by something that happens within the next chapter, and it's oof. Big oof. That's about as much as I can say about it. You should probably just read Snowball Earth because I don't want to spoil it for you. And last but not least, we have that's what I'd call an opening chapter award that goes to a series with a absolutely remarkable first chapter and really gets you started on a fantastic series. And that is going to go to Bless from Yukino Sonoyama. Absolutely loved this opening. I thought the first chapter was fantastic. I think it really dived into the characters pretty quickly, and you can get a kind of an idea and a sense of what is going on with these characters, how they're both struggling with certain things about themselves, and I think it just tackles it in such a beautiful way within the first chapter. I loved it a lot, and I think it's just one of the best first chapters of the year. So yeah, give it a shot. Bless by Yukino Tsurayama. Okay, going into the final section, these are the Big Boy Awards. These are the awards that every series wants to win within the Manga Dude Manga Awards, and that is going to be the first. Best Publisher of the Year is going to go to Kodansha. Yes, I never thought I would ever say those words in my entire life, but Kodansha really killed it this year with some fantastic releases across the board. Medalist, Thunder 3, Sketchy, just to name a few. Versus, like, goodness gracious, man, Kodansha was killing it. Bless, King of Limbo, like, holy moly. Like, they completely blew me away with some fantastic releases, and they actually, like, managed to look very good, which is not to say that happens often with Kodansha, so, you know, kudos to them. They also did introduce just recently the Kodansha Print Club, which is something that's going to be super cool, where they're going to bring digital-only titles to physical. I don't know how it's going to work. The logistics seem a little weird, but it's cool that they're even acknowledging that in the first place. So, honestly, Kodansha absolutely killed it this year. Now, going into the best art. Yes, the best art of the year. This one was pretty difficult. I actually was kind of bouncing between a couple of series, and it's actually a series that I haven't even mentioned yet in this video, which is kind of funny. Had a chance of winning best sci-fi, but honestly, I think it was so hard to be able to put it somewhere else, anywhere else, and that is going to go to Fool Knight from Kasumi Yasuda. This is volume 1, but there are 3 volumes out, and this series has absolutely gorgeous art. I love the paneling. I love the details of the characters. I think all the plant stuff is really interesting. I just love how it's lettered. I love the sketchy, like, kind of style that they have going on. I love the backgrounds. This is just an absolutely remarkable, beautiful piece of manga. Could it have won something else? Yes, absolutely. But I think it's well worth and deserving of the best art of the year. Fool Knight from Kasumi Yasuda. Going into the best story, this is the only series actually that won 2 awards tonight, and that is going to be Tokyo These Days. Yes, I already talked about this in the most important read, but this story is so fantastic, and it hit really close to home for me. Finding your passion, I think, like, the way that the story is told is fantastic. Getting glimpses into various different mangaka who are either retired, still going, but getting old and feeling burnt out, feeling left behind. I think it's so good at pulling all these different things and keeping these strings together, keeping you existential, keeping your brain working, thinking, munching, just trying to kind of keep it all together. It's a very emotional read. I think it's fantastic, and it's only 3 volumes, so I mean, it's highly worth picking up. It's fantastic. And last but not least, it's the best manga of the year. There are so many that could have won it. Fool Knight could have won it. Hirayasumi could have won it. Tokyo These Days could have won it. But honestly, there's only one series that I just knew was going to be on here. And I actually kept it off because I was going to have a best sports series of the year. But there was literally no competition, so it would have felt weird to do that. But if that didn't give it away, well, now here it is. The best manga of the year goes to Medalist from Tsurumai Kara. This series was fantastic. Oh, it is so good. 5 volumes out now. Absolutely wonderful stuff, beautiful art, great characters, a story that's so easy to like follow, and the pacing is great. All of the characters are so easy to root for, even the characters who are kind of like jerks in a way, but you just get to see these characters grow. Everything is just really, really fun. It's so beautiful. Oh, it's just a remarkable piece of fiction. Honestly, it's so good, and I finally understand what everyone was talking about when they said that Medalist is fantastic, because yes, it is as good as everyone makes it out to be. Medalist is the best manga of 2024. Thank you for watching this awards show. What do you think? Do you agree with my choices? Do you disagree with my choices? Let me know in the comments below. What do you think were the best of this year? I'd love to know what people's opinions are on the things that released this year. Whew. And you know what to do. You can like, you can comment, you can subscribe. Those are all amazing things. I love it when you do it. If you become a member, you can get some of these videos just a wee bit early, just a couple days early, or even get some videos that are only for you. But you'll have to join the membership. It is at certain costs. If you can't support that way, always subscribing is great. Always liking, always commenting. Those are all amazing things. Beautiful stuff. You guys make it worth it. This was a fantastic year, and this was a fantastic awards show. I will see you in the next video. Bye-bye!